And now, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rimes.
And yes, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for spending some time with us here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, always helping you win in your real estate deals, buying, selling, or investing. And as a quarterback show, we're consumer advocates. It's all about helping you make better buying decisions, make you more street smart here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We got Mike Hasting back in studio with us, everydayplumber.com. We're going to talk with him about business in general, supporting the local economy, and a little bit about some of the fallout from the election, some of the cool stuff that's happening, the golden age of the United States of America, I believe, in front of us. Also, Ray Hall Appraisal is coming up. We're going to talk with him. He's a valuation expert, so all things appraisal values for real estate properties, commercial, vacant land, businesses, all types of good stuff coming up with Ray Hall. With Ray Hall Appraisals also on the show today. All right, we like to feature our partners as well as our listings. So we've got Solar Bear. I want to let you know about Solar Bear. If you're in Tampa Bay and you're thinking about adding solar onto your home, we highly recommend Blake Ambrester and his team over at solarbear.com. Solarbear.com. Take control of your energy bill today. Say yes to solar. Solarbear.com. You can also see, if you go to YouTube and check out our YouTube channel, all you have to do is put in Solar Bear, Blake Ambrester on the Consumer Quarterback Show, and you can see all of his previous episodes there, just like you can see many of our other expert contributors that you've heard about here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. And a couple of hot listings here from the Platinum MVP team. We've got a property at 8107 Sierra Manor Lane. This is a beautiful $1 million listing of mine. I love this home. Just a gorgeous property. Over an acre of land, 3,600 plus square feet, 4 bedrooms, 4 bath. You have 3-car garage there as well. 2-story beauty right here in Tampa Bay. You're kind of that double branch area, close to Oldsmar, out in the Tampa Bay area there. Granite countertops, Wolf gas stove, 500-gallon buried propane tank. You got 130 feet of private water frontage with a 6,000-pound boat lift and no backyard neighbor. So bring your boats, bring your jet skis, and enjoy that Florida living, Florida lifestyle to the fullest there at 8107 Sierra Manor Lane. 3101 Old Archer Road. Okay, this is Archer Place in Gainesville, Florida. 92 pre-construction luxury condos. My wife Lindsay and I are representing Archer Place. Beautiful property. You're about 1.5 miles from the University of Florida. 5 minutes to Shands Medical and Butler Plaza. Floor plans ranging from 1 bedrooms up to 3. Your $400,000 entry level up to the 900s. And you are also allowed to short-term rent these properties. EB5 visa approved, resort style temperature controlled pools there. Beautiful property. You can see all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com.
Yeah, I'm racing my class to those saving our ass overseas.
All right, Mike Hasting, welcome back into the studio.
Thanks, Brandon. How you doing?
Oh, blessed and highly favored. Been a good week this week so far with a lot of
Perfect.
the election and the outcome, and it just looks like things are going in the right direction for our great country.
It feels good.
It does.
It does feel good.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I'm hearing more and more. I mean, I'm already calling leads that said, hey, just wait and see. We're going to wait and see. And okay, well, now we see. Let's do some business.
Oh, yeah. It's incredible. We're booked already. It's just amazing after one day. I mean, we're booked all the way into next week.
Yep.
People are comfortable. They're feeling like, hey, things are looking good.
Yep.
So they're willing to spend the money to fix the plumbing.
Yeah.
And fix the AC and fix the roof and fix the things that they were scared about fixing because they weren't quite sure what the economy was going to do and all the other things. I mean, this morning, $76,000 on cryptocurrency, the Bitcoin. I mean, everything
Is that per one coin?
Yeah,
What is that?
per one coin. I just looked at it. It was like $76,000.
Do you own some of that?
Wow.
Do you own some Bitcoin?
Oh no, I can't afford that stuff.
Well, yeah, a whole coin, but you can buy parts of coins.
I just
right?
want to. Yeah, I'll take a quarter.
There you go.
A quarter of the coin.
There you go.
That would be nice.
Yeah.
They say it's crazy what they say. It's going to be like worth $1 million plus in 4 years or something. It's just crazy.
To me, it's just so risky, though. It's so scary because you don't have. It's not really backed by anything other than. And you know, when you look at the Bitcoin, the whole story about the Yoko Soto guy that started it, and okay, well, what if that Yoko Soto guy just says, I'm taking all the money or I'm liquidating? I don't know.
It's made for the whales.
Yeah, exactly. Who knows, man?
And I'm just a catfish.
Yeah,
or just a minnow out in the pond. So,
not the big fish, but somewhere in the middle there. We got a middle fish here. But yeah, you're right. And here's a quick summarization. It says U.S. stocks jumped to record highs, and as a result of the election, S&P advanced 3%. Closing at an all-time high. You go on and look at the dollar. Looks firm now. I saw a post on Twitter too. Hezbollah said, "Hey, we want a ceasefire now." Like the dominoes are already falling.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
It's a beautiful thing. The most exciting thing is that is the youth. They went out and voted.
They showed up.
They showed up. The college kids and my son's in college, and he was talking to me about how many people were voting, how many students were voting, and how much they were a part of this, and how the people spoke.
Yes.
And he better deliver.
Yeah,
that's what I'm gonna say. He better deliver, and I know he will.
Look at the administration, because that was another thing. So many people saying, "Oh, well, I can't vote for Trump because his personality, or he had several marriages, or whatever it is." When you look at where that's going, where that led, it's 5,000 people that are coming in and coming out. You got 5,000 old bureaucrats coming out just almost immediately.
Right.
5,000 new potential Trump administration transition team, and then on that team, Robert F. Kennedy,
right,
Elon Musk,
right,
Vivek Ramaswamy, and the list goes on and on. Right.
They're hitters.
Yeah,
success.
Strong mindset.
Surround yourself with successful people, great people. You're only as good as your team.
Yes.
It comes down to me with everydayplumber.com and all my guys. I mean, they're amazing.
Yep.
Every single one of those guys are amazing. They're great plumbers. They have wonderful service. They're in tune.
Yep.
They want to make sure that the customer's happy and everything. It's all about who you surround yourself.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely. You're only as good as your team.
We all heard that over the years, right? It's your 5 best. You're a product of the 5 people that surround yourself. We've all heard that,
right? I want to surround myself with more than 5, though. I want to surround myself with tons of them, because then it makes you even better as a person, and also makes you look better.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
So by doing that, and then I want to go back to what you mentioned about the youth vote and the younger folks.
Right. Absolutely.
I think now more than ever, you're seeing that people really say, like, wow, these mainstream media people, these big multinational corporations, MSD and C, et cetera, some of these different corporations, they really were lying about all this stuff. They were making up falsehoods, and I want to take that 2 ways. I want to take it, one, into the youth being patriotic again,
right?
But I also want to go to the trades, because I think a lot of the folks don't need to be in college. They're just going to college because their parents made them. They would do really well in the trades. A lot of them.
Right. So I saw something really cool on a TikTok thing. I don't know TikTok, but this guy asked this little kid what he's going to be when he grow up, and it was funny. My buddy sent it to me. He says, "I'm going to be a plumber.
Yeah.
I don't want to go to college and be up to debt.
Yep.
And to over my head, and this guy makes a great living as a plumber, because he was only in my mom's house for a couple hours, and he charged her $300-400, $500, whatever the deal is.
Yep.
And this little kid, he's 10 years old, and he's like, yo, this is what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And it was really, it's true though. You can make a wonderful living in the trades, and it is technical, and it is a lot of work too. It's not like you're going to learn this overnight. It's just like college. You got to go do it for 4 or 5 years.
Skill set.
To, get your skill set up. But you're not in debt.
Exactly.
You're not in debt. You don't owe anybody any money. You've got a wonderful trade, and you can go anywhere in the United States, and you're going to get hired.
And I think there's something rewarding, because I did my share of working with Dad, and I know how to hook up a trailer and back the trailer up, park the trailer, and do these kind of country boy things, a little bit. You look at it. I went through high school rodeo and stuff like that. But I like the skill set, and I think there's something just inherent in some individuals, most individuals, I would say, working with your hands, seeing that final product done, completing a task. It's an art. Yeah. It really is. It's truly an art. Yeah. Plumbing and AC, anything in a trades is an art. When you're done, you get to look at it, and it's like, wow, I did this, My guys take pictures. We put them all over Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. I mean, we're constantly putting things out of all the work that my guys do because it's beautiful. The work is beautiful. It's artwork, Yeah. You're solving a real world problem. Right, exactly. A lot of these degree plans today, like you hear Charlie Kirk going off about North African lesbian poetry or whatever, right? Like what are you going to learn with that? Right? What are you actually going to do? And I just watched, have you ever heard of how about Matt Walsh with What is a Woman? I don't know if you saw that one. That was the one about 6 months ago. But he did another one called Am I a Racist? Where he would dress up, or he'd go undercover. He had the man bun hair and the tight skinny jeans, and he would go into these different clinics, and he'd set these people up, and basically he's acting like he cares, but he doesn't. He's basically saying, "Oh, tell me more. I'm trying to decenter my whiteness and things." But he went and got a DE. He would carry around his DEI certification. He goes, "Yeah, I'm DEI certified. Here's a card. Don't look too long because it's a website he paid $20 for." But a lot of these things are just waste, and I think that's what's great about Twitter files with Elon Musk. Right. That's what's great about Donald Trump and some of these game changers coming out, Charlie Kirk, on down the line, saying, hey, we've been lied to. These degree plans are not relevant. This whole DEI thing is racist. Yeah, it's not what Martin Luther King said. Martin Luther King told us, hey, it's not about the skin color; it's about the character. Right. It's about the merit. Are you good at the job or not? Exactly. So that's what's great about, this, not only the election, but technology and the way that it all kind of culminated in that election. But really it's a repudiation of the ruling class, and it's a big thumbs up, middle finger thumbs up to the elites, right? Right. For sure. It really is. Like, look, I love the fact that the American people took back America. Yes. That's right. Amen. Globalist. Just like he woke up and was like, listen, man, this is not good. Yeah. We got to change this up. So, yeah, man. And they did. So it's almost like, I sometimes on the weekends, I'm like, okay, let me spend a little time on the TV and just get away from the real world for a minute. And I flipped through, and it was the one about Vince McMahon. And the wrestlers, right? Okay. So you go through all the wrestlers, the highs and the lows. Hulk Hogan was a good guy. He was a bad guy. But it's kind of like that in a sense. Like Trump was the ultimate. They talk about the ultimate political comeback. Right. I think it's the ultimate comeback story, regardless of political, football, any kind of comeback. I mean, if you look at everything they did to the guy, right, with the court cases, trying to bankrupt him, he's going. He should be out campaigning. He's got to go to New York again to face this fake, case, the Atlanta case. But it's almost like WWF. Yeah, right. Like, he's Captain America, man, and we beat the globalist. He was in a wrestling matches too. Like he shaved his head. That's right. McMahon. Yeah, McMahon shaved his head on. He's a character, man. Exactly. It's a shocker. It's a lot about the shock factor, and that's why even some other radio stations, you hear the term like shock jock. I'm like, well, I listen to Mike Gallagher in the morning. I listen to, Dennis Prager. I mean, these are people talking about real things. Right. Wise man said one time something to the effect of, the true value of your life, or the true value of spending time is talking to people, talking about things that matter to people that care. Right. Right. So when you talk about some of these shock jock things and what whatever celebrity Taylor Swift did or did, that doesn't matter. What really matters is that we took our country back. It's back on a biblical plane of the biblical values that our country was founded on. Right. Right. Absolutely. It's a beautiful thing to know that we are going to go up from here. Exactly. And get rid of that uncertainty, because I think that caused a lot of anxiety problems with people. It was very scary, and I think the polls and the media just really it's nice to see those guys eat that. Yeah, exactly. It really is. It's like nice to see them eat that, because the whole time I have been under complete stress for the past 3 months going, what am I going to do if it goes the other way? Yeah. exactly.
How am I going to keep my employees working?
Exactly.
How am I going to get the phones to ring?
Yep.
How are we going to survive doing Band-Aid work versus the work that these people are doing? And they're doing it already. They're like, yay, we can actually fix our house. We can actually do stuff because they feel comfortable now.
Yeah. Yeah, they're not going to leave the country.
Comfortable.
Some people were thinking about leaving the country. I got friends that were actually
put them on a plane.
About the country.
Put them on a plane. I mean, see you later.
Guys, though. I meant if it went the other way. Patriots.
Wow.
Saying,
okay.
Unrealized gains. Think about it. If that were to pass,
that was
unrealized gains. If you've got
bad.
If you've got $600, $800, $1 million in equity, you're talking about a 30% tax right off the bat on an unrealized gain. I haven't even seen the benefit of that gain.
Very painful.
That's ridiculous.
Very painful.
That is ridiculous. It's almost as ridiculous as saying that the corporations are price gouging. Now, there may be incidences of that here and there,
right.
But not in general. You talk about grocery stores that run at a 2% margin.
Right.
There's no price gouging there, guys.
I know when they kept saying that, it was just like, come on, We
got to get to the break here, but we're talking with Mike Hasting, everydayplumber.com. Check him out online, everydayplumber.com, and more on the Consumer Quarterback Show coming up right here after this short break. Don't go anywhere.
This is Work Done, and you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show hosted by my man, Brandon Rimes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 727-263-3707. Online at consumerqb.com.
Patriot Mobile is America's only Christian conservative wireless provider who shares your values. They offer the very best nationwide coverage on 4G and 5G LTE networks and exceptional 100% US-based customer support. Patriot Mobile offers discounts for veterans and first responders, NRA members, and families with multiple lines. Learn more at patriotmobile.com/consumer QB. That's patriotmobile.com/consumer QB. Or if you'd like to give us a call, you can reach out at 727-263-3707. That's 727-263-3707. And we'd be happy to tell you more about Patriot Mobile.
Dennis Prager here for Brandon and Lindsay Rimes.
Yeah, he's out there.
The Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams. Buying, selling, investing in real estate, their nationwide Keller Williams network makes them the best team to work with. Sellers, have your property featured live on air, creating multiple offers. Buyers, leverage a unique system that gets your offer accepted, never overlooked. Call or text 813-750-0550, 813-750-0550, or consumerqb.com.
Lindsay Rimes here with Archer Place in Gainesville, Florida. Our luxury condo community is located only 1.5 miles from the University of Florida, 5 minutes to Shands Medical and Butler Plaza. Our buyers love the high-end luxury amenities in their building, including a state-of-the-art fitness facility equipped with Pelotons, the resort-style temperature-controlled pool accompanied with cabanas and grills, and the gourmet chef's kitchen in our clubhouse that overlooks the pool. We have pre-construction pricing only for a limited time, with floor plans ranging from a 1-bedroom, 1-bath to 2-floor penthouses with plunge pools. Starting in the low 400,000s to the high 900s, investors, parents sending their young adults off to school, medical professionals, business owners, and entrepreneurs alike are investing in these residences. Reach out to us today at 727-263-3707 to get more information.
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rimes. Online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-917-1894.
And we're back. Brandon Rimes here, Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. I want to let you know about a program we utilize called K-Score. By the way, kind of an interesting program, and think about it as a potential for a side gig, side hustle. Perfect example is a bartender, a hairstylist, massage therapist example, where what you're doing, it's called K-Score because it's powered by Kaplan through Keller Williams Realty. Now, what it is, it's a free online class that allows you to get all of your real estate licensing criteria, the class portion done. and then you would need to get fingerprinted and pass the final exam. But what a lot of the folks I just mentioned do is they do real estate as a side gig, kind of a side hustle, because your friends, family, neighbors, people that are in your sphere, people that you're cutting their hair or training them as a personal trainer, bartender, they are going to talk about real estate. All you have to do is get their name and number, pass it along to us, the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, and you will earn 25% of the commission just for passing on a name and a phone number. So if you want to find out more about K-Score, we would love to talk to you about that. And it's called K-Score and Keller Williams Realty. So as a side hustle potential to be a part-time realtor, just kind of hang your license and pass along those deals. So really cool opportunity there. 9122 Rock Rose Drive. This is a property that we have in Tampa. 9122 Rock Rose, split floor plan. This one's 4 bedrooms, 2.5 bath, 3-car garage, almost 2,700 square foot split floor plan home, vaulted ceilings, gorgeous property. You do have solar on the roof as well, so you got some built-in price breaks on your electrical, and stainless steel appliances. Rock Rose Drive, Tampa. Beautiful property there. 1240 Chelsea Lane. This one's in Holiday. 1240 Chelsea Lane. You have a affordable home here. This is a corner lot home, no HOA or CDD. 2-bedroom, 1-bath, small, affordable home. Open floor plan here, situated on a spacious corner lot. You have room to park your boat, your jet skis, camper as well. You can see all of our listings. Platinum MVP Team. .kw.com.
Try that in a small town. See how far you make it down the road.
All right, Mike Hasting in studio with us, everydayplumber.com. And it's just leading into just a good economy, I believe. Right. And also, another article here about Fed probably cutting rates again. We'll see where that goes.
Road looks good.
The road looks good,
man. Looks good.
It sure does.
It's cleaning it up,
That's right.
Getting rid of those barricades and let's see a nice road in front of us.
That's right.
A horizon and
I love it, man.
Beautiful,
Yeah. So you do in your business, you do residential and commercial?
We do residential and commercial. We're a 24-hour business, open 7 days a week, 365 days. We're always out there working away, making sure that the plumbing works.
There you go. And you mentioned last time too with the storms, there was some bellying that happened. It changes underground. So the dirt's moving.
Right. So those pipes will kind of float with the ground a little bit, and then the soil gets loosened, and then the pipe will settle, and you'll get the belly in the line. And unfortunately, we'd have to cut it out and replace it and so forth. So.
And if you got an older home, if you got an older home in the 60s or whatnot, and you need to find out if you're going into purchase, recommend getting those cameras in there.
Absolutely. If you're going to purchase a home, you should spend the money to have a professional plumber look at it. And nothing against the inspectors, just trust me, spend the money, have a professional plumber come out, camera the lines, make sure it's good. You don't want to buy a house and you have to spend $35,000 on sewers and then another $70,000 on cosmetic damage. So it's $100,000.
Oh yeah,
and that's just boom. It happens just like that, and it's very sad.
And it's not going to reflect it. It's one of those things too. It's not going to reflect in your next appraisal.
Right.
It's home's supposed to have plumbing that works.
It's the lipstick on the pig thing. So we see that a lot. People, they'll buy a house and they're like, oh, this house is beautiful. It's been redone. And then, it's old cast iron pipe. Everything gets cut out. And, it's pretty bad.
Yeah, exactly. Are you hiring any positions at everydayplumber.com?
Apprentices and plumbers.
Okay.
Both. We need them both. Plumbers and apprentices. We want to teach you. And if you know already plumbing, come and see us. We want to hire you.
There you go.
That's it.
You got opportunities out there. This economy is going to be booming.
That's everydayplumber.com.
Check them out online, everydayplumber.com. Mike Hasting, always a pleasure catching up with you, man.
Absolutely, Brandon. Thank you so much.
Yep, my pleasure. And so, when you look at the show, you have all these different categories, these great home service providers, inspectors, people related to the program. Reach out. We'd love to talk to you. 727-263-3707. Just call or text the show hotline. It's an off-air number, 727-263-3707. Online at consumerqb.com. Online, you can see links to all of our expert contributors. You can see Mike's contact information on our website as well. And Mike, thanks again for coming in, man. Appreciate it.
My pleasure, man.
Always
Thanks
good
again.
catching up. We
Thanks
got Ray Hall in the house. Ray Hall Appraisals coming in on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We're going to talk about the real estate market, values, commercial properties, vacant land. He's valued all kinds of things. We're going to talk with him coming up here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Follow us online. We would love to connect with you at BrandonRimes1 at CQB Show, and subscribe to the YouTube and podcast. Thank you so much. We'll see you in just a little bit.
Hey, I'm Ken Shamrock, and you're here with Consumer Quarterback Show. And I say...
And at consumerqb.com.
All right, Brandon Rimes here, Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team, Keller Williams Realty. We got Ray Hall in the house. Ray Hall Appraisals, longtime friend of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Ray Hall back in studio with us, coming up here in just a minute. We got a couple of listings here I want to let you know about here. 1905 Masters Way. We have a beautiful property in Plant City. This is East Hillsborough County, 4.3 with 2-car garage, 29 square foot single family home, 0.38 acre lot with no backyard neighbors. This one's 1905 Masters Way, Plant City. You have a Florida room, expansive windows, split floor plan, and Walden Lake amenities. There's lots of amenities there. You have dog trails, dog parks, walking trails, and access to the lake for non-motorized vehicles. Beautiful property, nice color scheme. Great opportunity here in beautiful Tampa Bay. 1905 Masters Way, Plant City. 3327 Turks Cap Drive. Vacant lot, build your dream home here. Waterfront in Hernando Beach. Situated on a clear canal with 75 feet of frontage. You have a vacant lot, build your dream home. Waterfront oasis here at 3327 Turks Cap Drive, Hernando Beach. And you have gorgeous unobstructed views of the Gulf of Mexico and west-facing Florida sunsets there. No HOA or deed restrictions. Charming waterfront community. And you're close to Weeki Wachee Springs State Park and others. Check out 3327 Turks Cap Drive, Hernando Beach. You can see all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com.
Only in America.
All right, we got our friend Ray Hall Appraisals back in studio. Welcome back, sir.
Thanks for having me back, Brandon. Appreciate it. Always fun here.
Yes, sir. So what are you thinking about the market? I mean, we got hit by a couple storms, got insurance challenges. Where are we going from here?
There's a lot going on, and it kind of does depend on your area. I've been looking at a lot of properties these days, and some areas you're going to see a whole lot of inventory now. And we both know what happens when you have a lot of inventory. That's going to impact things. I've seen that a lot out in the barrier islands, the ones that really got hit. Yeah. Other areas, I haven't seen that flood. They have had some flooding and they have had some damaged houses, but I'm not seeing, the big influx of inventory to the market. So those areas are going to do a little bit better. Now you've got the inland areas. You might have a migration from the coast to the inland. Right. That's possible. But as me and you kind of discussed the other day, and you said it best, people forget.
Yeah, short memories.
Short memories. I remember once I got in a car accident. I was on the interstate, started raining. I hydroplaned into a wall. Yep. And for several months after that, I drove real slow in the rain. Yep. Because of the impact of that. Eventually, you get over it and you move on, and I think that's we're gonna see in that market. So you're gonna have short term, maybe a little bit impact the value up by the coast, but then all those houses are gonna go back up for sale, and they're all gonna be renovated, and they're all gonna be nice, and people are gonna remember, man, I like the water. Yeah, I still want to move out there. Yeah. So I think that's what we're gonna see, and a couple little fluctuations in the market, but we're gonna come back strong just like we always have.
Yeah. Hey, I like to have my boat in my backyard. I like to go out fishing. I like to. I don't like these storms, but hey, luckily it's only once every 20 years. That's what we're hoping, right? Once every 30 years. But yeah, when you look at that Florida lifestyle, we always talk about living that Florida lifestyle to the fullest. And we were talking with Natasha Sanderson. She is our staging partner, home staging and interior design. And when you look at what she was talking about was, and I want to see if you're seeing this, is taking those lower level on the homes that typically are going to get, the drywall damage. Yep. Are you seeing people coming in and putting in materials instead of putting sheetrock, maybe putting some type of a PVC or hardy board type material, more sustainable that are not going to be affected by the water?
I haven't seen a whole lot of the repairs going on yet, but I've actually talked to people who said that very thing, using what they call the cement board. Yes. In the bathrooms, they use what's called cement board, and it's a little more forgiving
Impermeable,
right?
Impermeable.
I had a friend of mine, and he's an engineer, biomedical engineer, very smart guy, and his idea was for his houses, putting the cement board in, but raising it up a few inches.
Mm-hmm.
So if there is a flood, the water can just flow right out, and then it does help with that problem later on. But again, I don't know when flooding is going to be a problem again. It took 100 years for this to happen.
Yeah.
We may never see it again in our lifetime.
Right.
There are some areas that are prone to flooding. I know some of those areas out in St. Pete, and they probably always will be. But, I have friends that live on the water, on the coast, have never had a problem.
Right.
It was just kind of the perfect storm of a situation that we had.
Yeah.
And when's that going to happen again?
Yeah.
Likelihood is very, very low. So my recommendation to people is don't go crazy over improving your house for something that may never happen again.
Yeah.
Because you might not get that money back.
Yeah, exactly. You got to look at the risk reward as far as the benefit of improving the home. So let's talk about that, because when you look at an appraisal, a lot of times people say, oh, well, I added this or I added that, I added a pool. What are some of the lowest return items? And then on the inverse of that, what are some of the highest return items?
Lowest return items, I would say it's the extras you do that nobody would use and nobody really sees. Yeah. I've had people that were running a certain business out of their house, so they got this top of the line internet. I've never even heard of it, but they spent a whole lot of money on it. Yep. But who needs it?
Right.
I'm not going to spend extra money on your house when I can get 1 gig of service from whatever provider and be fine.
Yeah.
So things like that, don't do that. You may get your money back if you put an upgraded insulation, because that's going to transfer over into savings on your power.
Yep.
But if it's just something that's specific to you, you're don't expect much back.
Yeah.
I've always said when I built my house, I had my garage extended and my master bedroom extended. Did it really make an impact on my value? Absolutely not. It was just for what I wanted.
Yeah.
Swimming pools, you're not going to get 100% of that back, but you are going to probably have an increase in your value.
Yeah.
Especially here in Florida. That doesn't go for other places in the country. I know a lot of states up north, sometimes a pool is a negative factor.
Yeah.
On your valuation, just because of the upkeep and the fact that apparently there's something called winterizing a pool. I don't know anything about it.
Yeah.
I guess
the pipes will blow.
I've never done it. Winterizing means I turn the heater on.
Yeah.
But so here in Florida, people like pools.
Yeah.
When you move down, I was born in New York. I moved to Florida. Thought everybody got issued a pool.
Yeah. Standard operating.
Standards got to be in every house. So that's the thing. If you want to get your money back, do something to the house that everybody's going to be interested in and everybody's going to have a want or a need.
Yeah.
Something specific to you, probably not going to get that return.
Right. Yeah.
When we're doing value, we're actually estimating what the typical buyer would pay for that house or pay for that feature.
Yep.
A lot of times I get this person was willing to pay this or that. And I always say, well, that's not the market value, that's the them value.
Yeah.
That's just them.
Yeah.
What is the broad market willing to do?
Yeah.
So look for those items. That's what you want to your house. Kitchens, bathrooms, cabinets.
Right. That's what you hear.
Yes.
Traditional. It's the kitchen. It's the bathroom. The kitchen's the heart of the home, and then you have, so that's where you're going to get your most return, right, for those specific items. Like
absolutely,
yeah,
because
your granite countertops, etc.
Because everybody. Now, my job as an appraiser is to walk in your house like I'm a buyer.
Yeah.
And sometimes I walk into a house and I am wowed by that kitchen.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, this is a nice house.
Yeah.
And I'm a human being. You want to play on my psyche.
Yeah.
Another hint: if you're ever trying to sell your house, just make it smell nice, folks.
There you
just
go.
Make it smell nice.
Yeah, it does.
It makes a huge difference.
Yeah, and
huge
those
difference.
big islands in the kitchen, people love those now.
Yeah.
Instead of having the extra wall with the cabinet, sometimes they'll rip it out, put an island there. Now you got your cabinetry underneath, some storage underneath, and just a nice place for the kids to sit. You have the little breakfast nook there, built in.
Yep, and countertops go such a long way because it catches your eye every time.
Yes.
Even if your cabinets are maybe a little dated, but they're in good condition, they look decent, they still hold up with the current tastes.
Yep.
New countertops will do a lot, and they're not as expensive as they used to be.
Right.
Especially, maybe you just want to go with like a granite that doesn't cost too much, but it's a nice neutral color.
Yep.
You'll really just turn that kitchen around and really make it pop when the appraiser comes over or a potential buyer.
Yeah. We're talking with Ray Hall Appraisals here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. I'm your host, Brandon Rimes, RayHallAppraisals.com. And Ray, I wanted to get into some of the so we got Realtor Magazine coming out with buyer trends, 9 buyer and seller trends driving home sales. So we'll kind of start on this here.
Sure.
When you look at it, it says it kind of starts off as the past year hasn't been easy for people. But especially those who face elevated home prices, higher mortgage rates, slim inventory options. And for us in Florida, we'll go ahead and throw in the insurance challenge. The U.S. housing market is split into 2 groups: first-time buyers struggling to enter the market, and current home buyers buying with cash. That's the chief economist and vice president of research from NAR. I'll pause there and see what your comments might be.
With regards to
well, they're saying housing split into 2 groups: first-time buyers that are struggling, and then also cash buyers.
I would that's 2 aspects of the market. There's really there's a lot of different buyers out there. Cash buyers, I don't see them all that much because remember, when I go in for the appraisal, I'm representing the bank.
Yep.
So I'm dealing a lot with the financing. As for the new buyers, there's always something in your price range out there. It's a matter of getting a good realtor who can go and find that price point for you in the decent areas and things like that. Now, unfortunately, because of the interest rates, that has impacted a lot of people because, what was affordable is now maybe below what your monthly budget is.
Yep.
So that's where that issue kind of came in. But I'm still seeing some people going out there and maybe they're buying a house that's not in the condition they wanted in the first place, but they're now getting back into putting the sweat equity back into it.
Yeah.
Buying that house that needs new floors, new countertops, new cabinets like we talked about. And over a couple of years going ahead and doing those updates, and now they've got a house and they've got what we call forced equity.
Yeah.
They put the equity into that house and now they're in a good position for it.
Right. And I think that's what this article just was talking about, the people that had equity sold and then took that cash, put it into a purchase. So that's what this article is saying. Also, another challenge for first-time buyers has been high rents. It's hampering their ability to have that build up that down payment. Absolutely. By the way, it's not 20%. A lot of people think, I have to have 20%. It's not 20%. Generally speaking, there's loan programs with 3%, 100% financing, or 3% down, 95% financing. There's some really good programs out there. So I'm moving on here. It says cash buyers surge to a high record. We talked about that. Mm-hmm. Okay, here's one. Multi-generational living gains traction. So those are multi-generational buyers climbed to an all-time high of over 17%, up from 14 the previous year.
If that's a great way to go, as long as you can tolerate being around your family that much.
Yeah.
I've seen it where folks have bought, a 6-7 bedroom house, and there's 2-3 generations of the family living in that house.
Yeah.
As we were talking about, we've got the Patel house over there on Gun Highway in Dale Mabry.
Yep.
That's a multi-generational compound. I don't know who else can afford it except for Dr. Patel, but that's a great example, and it's a great example of honestly, having that togetherness with the family, I think, is a very cool thing.
Yeah. Some cultures do it a lot. I mean, I think Asian culture does it.
Yep.
And hey, look, mom's going to be cooking. Grandma maybe if she's got some good cooking there. You got good food. You got the smells.
Exactly. I mean, me and my mom butt heads, but if I came home and everything was done, it'd be, hey, that's kind of great.
Got some good cooking there. Take them out for a Friday night treat or Saturday night. Go eat out instead of
cooking.
But
if you're having trouble affording a nicer house or something you want, that's a great way to go.
Yeah.
Because you can have that additional help with the bills, with the mortgage payment. And just the help around the house.
Yeah, it says cost savings are major factors with young adults returning to home or never leaving due to prohibitive rental and home prices. Meanwhile, elderly parents and relatives moving in with family members are home to prioritize what matters most to them.
Yeah, and rent has gotten crazy. I know people who are paying more rent for a 3-bedroom apartment than I pay in a mortgage for my 4 bedroom house.
Oh, yeah. People are renting rooms, too. I mean, there's so much to be said in that space of affordability. Let's take a quick break. We'll leave it right there. We're going to come back, talk FSBOs for sale by owners at an all-time low. Coming up, we're going to jump into some of those stats, more real estate topics, more stats coming up. Ray Hall Appraisals on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Follow us online. We would love to connect with you online on social media at Brandon Rimes 1 at CQB Show. And please subscribe to our YouTube and podcast. We'll be right back here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Thanks for listening to my daddy's show. Please make sure to send him all of your real estate deals and subscribe to the Consumer Quarterback Show podcast on iTunes and Spotify, or check out our YouTube channel. Have a blessed day.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 727-263-3707. Online at consumerqb.com.
Hey, Brandon Rimes here for AmericaFirstPatriotStore.com. My wife and I shifted a lot of our buying habits, and we wanted to support companies that support our values, patriotic, Christian conservative companies. And you can find that online at AmericaFirstPatriotStore.com. Now, what you're doing is you're not spending any new money. You're simply buying a lot of the common purchases that you're buying every month for the kitchen, the bathroom, your shampoos, your laundry detergent, all types of great essential oils, vitamins, herbs, those types of products. And for you beef lovers, we have great beef products as well. Tenderloin, sirloin steaks, grass-fed beef available as well. So check out AmericaFirstPatriotStore.com. And I'd love to talk to you if you have any questions about it. There's also a business opportunity there for you as well. 813-917-1894. And thank you so much for supporting our company, AmericaFirstPatriotStore.com.
Lindsay Rimes here. My husband Brandon and I own the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams, and our team of seasoned agents is ready to help you buy, sell, invest, and love the life you live here in Tampa Bay. Communication, execution, customer service, and bulletproofing transactions are really where our team shines. We service Hillsborough, Pinellas, Manatee, Pasco, Hernando, and Citrus counties, and we have seasoned agents in residential, luxury land, and commercial divisions. Reach out to us, your Christian realtors, and let us help empower you with the right knowledge to make smart decisions with your next transaction. Call us at 727-263-3707 today. Again, that number is 727-263-3707.
Selling commercial, vacant land, or residential properties? Don't leave money on the table. List with the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. I'm Brandon Rimes. You can reach me at 727-263-3707. Call or text 727-263-3707. Online at consumerqb.com.
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rimes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-917-1894.
All right, Brandon Rimes here, Consumer Quarterback Show. We're talking with Ray Hall Appraisals, longtime friend of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Great example of our expert contributors, Ray Hall Appraisals here on the show. And we kind of left off here talking about FSBOs, meaning a for sale by owner. Yeah. It says drop to an all-time low. For sale by owners comprise just 6% of home sales, a record low, according to NAR. 90% of home sellers sold their home with the assistance of a real estate agent, citing benefits like being able to market their home to a wider pool of buyers, pricing the home more competitively. FSBOs typically sold their home for less, a median of $380,000 versus $435,000 for agent-assisted sold homes. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of interesting data there.
It's probably interesting to a lot. I don't know if it's going to be that interesting to me and you because we've seen what happens with the for sale by owners. You know, so many times I go into a house and people are telling, you know, they love to tell me why the house is worth what it's worth.
Exactly, I'm sure.
And, you know, how many times I'm sitting there just kind of biting my tongue going, no, it's not.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, that's not true. I had one gentleman, he was just looking at his house saying, well, I sold this one next door for whatever it was, $250 a foot, so that's what this one must be worth. Not thinking the sizes of the two houses were considerably different.
Yeah.
Age was considerably different. There was a lot of different aspects between the two. It's not just a, pick a number and that's what everything is worth. If it was, you wouldn't need me.
Yeah.
So I think, people are finally realizing, there is a lot in what we do, both you and myself. And it's not easy. It does take a lot of training. It takes a lot of education. It takes a lot of experience. And is it really worth it just to save, 5%, 7%, something like that?
But they think they're saving. That's the key.
But they're not, because it's usually on the market longer.
Yep.
So you're incurring all those expenses. You're now, if you're not correct on what you're selling it for, you most likely you're losing money. So exactly, what you think you're saving, you're probably not. In fact, you're probably still losing some money in the end.
Yeah.
Even with real estate, just deal with a professional. Let a professional help you. We do this every day, all day.
That's right. Full time. All right. So you look at what sellers want. So we're going to go through what buyers want, what sellers want. So according to this article, it says sellers want marketing the home to buyers, 22%. Pricing the home competitively, 20%. Selling the home within their respective time frame, 18%. Identifying ways to increase resale price, 15%. And then, of course, lastly, finding a buyer, 13%. So that's what sellers want according to this article.
Well, I mean, the sellers I always deal with just want as much money as possible for their house. So.
That's right. And feedback. How about some feedback? I know a lot of times that's one of the number one complaints is, hey, the realtor took my listing. I didn't get feedback. They didn't tell me what was going on with the showings. I had open houses. I never heard back.
Yep. And it's like we've always said, just because someone's a licensed realtor doesn't mean they're good at what they do.
Yeah.
You've got to look at their expertise. You've got to look at their experience. Don't be afraid to ask them, how many listings did you have last year? How many sales did you have last year? How long have you been a realtor? I don't know how many times where maybe I'm going into Hernando County to do an appraisal, and I've had a realtor say, well, you're not from this area. I don't want you to come to this house and appraise it. And I look at their license, and I say, I've actually been doing this, over 5 times as long as you have in that area.
Yeah.
So, don't tell me what I know and what I don't know, because
ridiculous.
Trust me, I have the experience.
Yep.
And there's nothing wrong with a newer realtor, but just make sure they have a support system.
Yeah.
Everybody's got to start out. Once upon a time, I was a new appraiser and didn't know what I was doing.
Yep.
But I was with a good company that gave me the support and the education I needed to progress in what I do. So, if you have that new realtor, that's fine, but just make sure they have that support system to help them out and that they can lean on someone who maybe has that experience that's really going to help you sell that house.
Yeah. And pull their stats too. I would say, look,
Absolutely.
if you're considering, and if I have competition when I'm listing a property, I say, well, let me know who the other agent. I'll gladly pull their stats, pull my stats, send them to you so you can see the sales, because not everybody's going to be 100% forthright. I want to get this in before the break, what buyers want. Okay, so we went sellers, now we're going buyers. Point out unnoticed features, faults with a property. That's 55% of what buyers want from agents. Help to understand the process, 53%. Negotiate better sales terms, 44%. Provide a list of providers, example, home inspectors, etc., 43%. And improve knowledge of home search areas, 41%.
Okay, and that's all, it sounds, that's actually a great list, and that really could be helpful to some people.
Yeah.
I like the research that you just did with this, and it's a shame that more people who are buying and selling don't do that research.
Right.
And they really should.
Yeah.
And I know, a lot of people go into the situation of buying or selling not knowing what they want.
Right.
Not knowing what it should be like.
Yeah.
Again, that goes back to going with a realtor who's experienced, but, and one of the key points you said was just a realtor who educates you.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think that was one of your points there, and I think that's really important. Ask questions. I mean, people are always told you can't talk to the appraiser. You can talk to the appraiser. You can ask me questions. I just can't be specific.
Yeah, exactly. You can show them the linen closet. Oh, here's the linen closet. Oh, another linen closet. Glad you showed that.
Exactly.
Ray Hall Appraisals. Check them out online. RayHallAppraisals.com.
Yep.
Thanks, Ray.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Hey, another great show. We had Mike Hasting, everyday plumber, on the show. Ray Hall Appraisals, and We want you to please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. Do something kind for one another. Be a force for good in the community. And we'll see you next time right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Call Brandon Rhymes at 727-263-3707. That's 727-263-3707. Online at consumerqb.com. And join us next time for the Consumer Quarterback Show.